As of recording, it is January 1st, 2019. Another year, another round of Nintendo kneecapping the Wii. But before you take the old girl out behind the shed and give her the old Yeller treatment, let's just wait a second and see what she's still good for. So, sit back, relax, and let's talk about the future of the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah.
This is Geek Therapy Radio.
What are we waiting for?
And now your mental curator, Johnny Hamburger.
If for some reason you've kept your Wii in regular rotation up to this point here in 2019, it comes as no surprise that Nintendo has, for a while now, been crippling and removing certain services that we've relied on with this awesome console. You can't get weather updates anymore, you can't go on YouTube, you can't get the news, you can't do most things that you were once able to on the Wii. Recently, all the Wii seems to be useful for is playing games offline and watching Netflix on the spare TV in the guest bedroom. But as of February 1st, 2019, you're not even gonna have Netflix anymore. Netflix is gonna be gone, with any other video streaming services likely following suit. So with the Wii's online services being all but eliminated going into 2019, what purpose could it possibly serve that would keep it out of the gaming gallows? In my opinion, the fact that it is darn near the most perfect 8-bit and 16-bit emulation device currently available. Hear me out. First, the Wii is cheap. You can easily pick one up on eBay for around 50 bucks. Though I'd personally recommend staying away from the Wii Mini. All the Mini is useful for is basically playing game discs, and that's it. Even if Nintendo didn't end streaming services, the Wii Mini never had Wi-Fi to begin with, so moving on. If you can find an original Wii with GameCube controller ports, that is all the better. So, the Wii is a fantastically affordable emulation box. Now, I know what a lot of you might be thinking right now. You can play all your emulators on your PC in dazzling HD, and you can even play emulators on your phone for crying out loud. So, what's my point? Good question. The Wii is absolutely perfect for 8 and 16-bit emulation, especially Nintendo games, because A, it's a genuine Nintendo, and B, because of its glorious analog video output, whether that's just regular old the yellow composite cable or even better component output. So great, even at best using the component output, you can emulate retro games at 480p on that new fancy pants 4K TV. What if I told you that the Wii's perfect use case in 2019 is paired up with an old tube or CRT TV that your grandma might still have laying around? You can, in all likelihood, pick one up for free from a family member or a family friend. This is where the Wii really comes into its own. Emulating 8 and 16-bit retro games, especially Nintendo games, with a real Nintendo through an analog connection into an analog TV at the game's native resolutions. With this method, even that single composite video cable connection looks more amazing than maybe you even possibly remember. It's been a long time, and we've been spoiled by HD TV. And playing retro games with the Wii Classic controller is just about as perfect as using the emulated system's own controller. And often better. I love the old NES controller. I have spent hundreds of happy hours with those rough, jagged edges digging into my palms as a kid. So you're playing retro games almost perfectly. I certainly can't tell if it's imperfect. On a retro TV, the way they were always meant to be played. The difference here is the fact that you can have your entire library on a cheap little SD card, seriously, mine's only 4 gigabytes, and use save states to save games in progress, instead of just leaving the Nintendo on when you left for school and praying all day that your big brother didn't turn it off and put in Super Mario Bros. 3, which he always inevitably did. So, that's where I'll start to wrap this up. The Nintendo Wii is down. but most certainly not out. With easily less than $100 and just a few minutes of Google searching, you'll see that the best future for the Wii is by revisiting the past. You guys don't owe me anything by watching this video. I know this, which is why I so truly appreciate any consideration to subscribing or giving me a thumbs up. I'm marching towards 1,000 subscribers here in 2019, and I know the only way I can possibly do that is if you think there's anything here worth subscribing to. Whether you subscribe or not, I need you to know that you are loved and you are not alone. We are all geeks about something, and that is beautiful. We have more in common through our hobbies and passions than the media would have you believe drives us apart. Black, white, Republican, Democrat, we all love art and video games and cars and Star Wars and music and Star Trek and a wonderful array of other things. This is the focus of Geek Therapy Radio. Let's explore this fascinating world together. You can also find the Geek Therapy Radio podcast on all major outlets, including iTunes, Spreaker, the iHeartRadio app, Google, Alexa, and many others. I personally like to use Pocket Casts on Android. Whatever you use, just make sure you search for Geek Therapy Radio with Johnny Hemberger, and you'll be all set to geek out with me each week. With that, thank you so much for watching. Be good to each other, including yourself, and I'll see you next time here on Geek Therapy Radio.